More often than not, we gaslight ourselves into believing that we are in love when the whole time it's just a trauma bond. Trauma bond is not love. Trauma bond is just an emotional attachment that arises from a repeated pattern of abuse. This abuse does not necessarily have to be physical, there's emotional, and there are so many other aspects of abuse. Normally, victims of abuse usually form an emotional connection to their perpetrators, and it feels a lot like love, but it is not. Within a trauma bond relationship, there must be two factors, that is, power imbalance, which means one person is the perpetrator and the other one is the victim, and reward or punishment. In that situation, I mean, the perpetrator makes the victim believe that there's going to be punishment if they do a certain thing, or if they act a certain way, or if they talk a certain way, or there's going to be a reward if they act nicely, or if they are good people. You get what I mean by that. So there must be power imbalance or reward, or a punishment. Those are the things that fuel a trauma bond. Victims of trauma bond, or usually they don't have a sense of self, like they cannot speak for themselves. They do not they don't have any kind of words to describe themselves. They only identify as whatever it is the abusers have, the conceptualization that the abusers have of them. By this I mean, victims of trauma bond cannot identify themselves, like they don't know who they are. They cannot describe themselves. If you ask a victim of trauma bond, who are you, tell me about yourself, they literally have no words to say. They will not have anything to say about themselves. That is because whatever it is their abusers, the perpetrator has made them to believe about them, that is exactly what they believe. So they have to check with them first. I am going to go ahead and mention 6 ways in which you can identify whether you are a victim of a trauma bond or not. I have 6 signs that you are a victim of trauma bond. Number 1, you justify the abuse. Anytime that person hates you or insults you or just does something nasty to you, you always find a way to justify whatever it is that they did to you. You always find a way to defend their actions about what exactly they did to you, no matter how harmful it may have been to you. You keep the abuse a secret. You do not tell your friends, you do not tell your family, you don't tell anyone about what is going on, because you also know, at the back of your mind, you know that it is wrong, you know that you deserve better. So you decide to keep it a secret because you do not want to hear it from anyone else. The third way to identify it, you feel entirely dependent on the abuser, either financially or emotionally. Like you just feel like you cannot be your own person. You need these people. You need that person. You need him or her. You need that person in your life. You cannot be whole without them in your life. The other one, self-blame. You blame yourself anytime they act out of character, anytime they do something nasty to you, anytime they raise their voices at you, or they insult you, or they just treat you badly. You always blame yourself. You're like, maybe it's the way I spoke to them. Maybe I provoked them by what I did or what I said. You blame yourself. The other one, you isolate from family and friends. If you find yourself, you have cut off all your friends, you've cut off all communication with your family. That's another very serious sign. The other one, you feel powerless and you feel unable to walk out of whatever it is that is. Remember, trauma bond does not only have to be in romantic relationships. People have trauma bonds with their friends. People have trauma bonds with their parents. People have trauma bonds with their caregivers. It does not necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. So you feel powerless over whatever that situation is, whether it's a friendship, whether it's your relationship with your parent, whether it's whatever it is, you just always feel powerless. So let's now talk about love, because we have established that trauma bond is not love. Let's just talk about love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It doesn't dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. That is the pure and simple definition and biblical definition of love. If whatever it is you're going through, whatever situation it is you're going through, if it does not match whatever it is I've just spoken, whatever it is I've just read about love, then it is not love. Love does not hit you. Love does not insult you. Love does not call you out of your name. Love does not always put you down. Love does not always body shame you. Love does not always call you names. Love is not unkind. It is actually the opposite. If you're listening to me right now and you're going through anything that I've mentioned about trauma bonds, I am genuinely sorry, but I am here to tell you, you can totally get yourself out of whatever it is that situation is. You can totally pick yourself up. Whatever is remaining of you, you can pick it up and decide to start over. It is never too late. You are not whatever it is the perpetrator has made you to think or has made you to believe. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of everything good that this life has to offer. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video. Goodbye.